Perfect. So, welcome everybody to Loose Lips with Liku, episode 2, series 2. And our special guest this afternoon become a good friend, but we were enemies when we first met. This man was at Priestley College, I was at Warrington Collegiate, and he, just tore it up as he has done since I've started playing with him. And like I say, I joined Crossfields, and this lad helped me out massively and became my captain and arguably probably one of the best players I've ever played with in rugby. So I know I've never told him that, but do you know what? He is up there, probably one of the best I've ever played with. So, and he's now business owner, dad, all round good bloke, Luke Walker. Luke, how you doing, lad?
So, mate. So don't expect me to fucking come back with something like that, mate. You've slipped me 20 quid for that.
Oh, don't you worry. I know I'm not. Hey, I'm too unfit for this game of rugby. You know that. So, how have you been, pal? I know you've obviously stopped playing. I've not playing rugby league at the minute. So, how have you been?
All right, mate. All right. I've got an 8-month-old baby, so concentrating on that. I'm concentrating on being husband, being businessman, being dad for a little bit, and concentrating on or enjoying, not limping around 24/7, and not being injured all the time. So enjoying it now. Ask me again in 6 months.
6 months when you get a phone call, wants to go back just to fill in on a Friday night.
What are you doing? Oh, no, okay, fine.
Brilliant. So, as you know, obviously, for those people that don't know, you have in the rugby league world quite a famous brother in Danny. Danny was obviously my first guest on the podcast, so it's nice to have you on and obviously see Danny's older brother, as it were.
The one that taught him everything. Make sure you put that in the record.
It's been transcripted and it's in there. Luke Walker taught Danny everything to do.
What? How not to do it? What's your brother?
I love it. So, obviously, let's go right back to the start. So, again, my job is being a high school teacher and whatnot. So, Luke Walker turns up to Beaumont, 11-year-old. What's his thoughts? What's his feelings?
I'll be honest. I was in school. I was too busy trying to make mates than actually crack on with school. I personally, we can go deep here, but I don't think the school system and way of learning fits everyone. I'm not a textbook learner. I need to be doing. I need to be given responsibility and crack on, rather than whiteboard, pen, paper, listening to lecture. Do you know what I mean? That's not the way I learn. So I'll be honest, I struggled in school. I got decent grades. I come out of it all right, but just enjoying it. And I was too busy trying to be Jack the Lad. And you might have fucking beats near Liku, but I was a little shit up until probably year 10, midway through year 10, 18 months to go. I thought, I need to sort me out here, otherwise I'm actually going to leave with nothing. So last 18 months I were good as gold, but the first 3.5 years, I probably wasn't teachers' favourites.
Well, if it's anything to go by with your brother as well, your twin brother Ben, then that would have been a handful for the Beaumont teachers. Fair play to them.
Well, I'll be honest, we're very similar academically. So we were in a lot of classes together, and yeah. I remember he stood up in the middle of an exam once. It was a mock. I'm not that stupid in a real one, but in a mock, I was cutting up a rubber and I just kept throwing it at him. I was sat directly behind him, and he stood up. Put the bleep in here. He stood up and he went, "Will you fuck off?" at the top of his voice.
Brilliant.
So, we got a bollocking for that. But that's what I mean. That when I say like, you give me a practical exam to go and do, or you ask me to talk about something, and I'll be able to explain it. Sit me in rows in an old sports hall and ask me to get my thoughts from my head to pen and paper. I'm bored. Switch off and I start chucking rubbers at people. Yeah, I wasn't rude to the teachers. I was cheeky. I wouldn't say I was particularly naughty. I was just cheeky and just tried to push boundaries. But
well, no, that comes obviously, and we have that now in school these days, where you have different learners. You learn differently. Like, person sat next to you probably would sit there and write down everything that's in their head, etc. But for you, obviously, as a kind of what they call a kinesthetic learner, so you want to be up, you want to be doing, you want to be practicing, you want to get better by doing rather than listening.
Exactly.
So on that, following on from that, so obviously with the teacher side of things, obviously I would like to think that I inspire students that want to be in my lessons. They want to not only learn, like I said, by listening to me drone on, but is there any teacher that you kind of built that kind of rapport with and just thought, do you know what, this guy or this woman really gets me, and do you know what, I will learn from, and you're not kind of always wanting to be Jack Lad for them?
It's maybe not. I probably couldn't pinpoint a specific teacher that was like, you know what, I'm looking forward to going in their class. It was just the ones who just respected the way that I learned and didn't dictate and go, no, this is the way I'm teaching it. This is where you're going to do it. Because the second you put a barrier up against me, I just I'm not doing it. Simple as that. The teachers that I respected the most were the ones that, right, well, if you can do it this way, how can we do it? And then we just come up with a plan together.
Yeah.
And that's, to be fair, it's kind of like what I've taken from those teachers is the way I do my coaching now, rather than being a dictator and going, right, this is how you need to eat, this is what you need to do, just come up with a plan together.
Yeah.
What can you commit to? Let's not set expectations up here and deliver none of it. What can we actually do? And just make sure we do a shit hot job at that.
Yeah, 100%. And almost like you say, cater for everyone rather than a one size fits all, which a lot of probably teachers, and especially like who we've come across, like yourself at your high school, me at mine, it's being able to, like you said, not kind of, like you said, be a dictator, which is, it's a nice lesson to take away from, like, that you've taken into real life.
It's the same now. So like, I've got staff here, and the two of the coaches that we've got here, we've brought them through apprenticeships. One of them, I call James, he flew through his apprenticeship because he could just get a note. He could get a workbook and just like, right, crack on, boom, 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 boom. Whereas Lucy, she's riddled with ADHD. Love the girl, love her to bits, but she's riddled with ADHD. She cannot concentrate. You give her more than one job to go and do it once, she can't do it. She simply cannot do it. And it took her 2.5 years to do her to complete apprenticeship. She's passed it now. Not on apprenticeship. Everything is passed. Everything apart from her maths. Why you need a grade C in maths to become a personal trainer, I don't get. But whatever, I understand it's government funded and whatever. You need to have your core skills, so I get that. But then to fail her 5 times, you got 7 attempts. Luckily, she failed it 5. She failed her maths 5 times. She was coming in here. She was heartbroken. I'd have took her on as a full-time member of staff there and then because she's really good at the job. But I couldn't give her the same rate of pay as people that were qualified and were insured when she's not got the piece of paper that said I'm a PT because she couldn't pass maths.
It is bonkers, and
do you know what I mean? So that, and the whole point of the apprenticeship system is to get people who don't learn from pen and paper, get them in jobs, right? Learn on the go.
Yes.
But then you're going to fail them based on the point that you're just contradicting yourself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. And you could, like I said earlier on, you could go quite deep into this and kind of we could rip the kind of rule book up about apprenticeships and like say all the government side of things, but at the end of the day, and I always say this to the kids who I teach, that experience is massive. You can have all the grades, all the best grades in the world, but if you've no idea what you've done or what you're going to go into, what's the point in that piece of paper? Because you need to have, like, for your job, for example, you need like the life, you need the different life skills like communication, not just to people around you work with, but the kind of people that are, like, say, coming into your gym or people who you're networking with. So it's not only that.
I've seen bookworms come in with uni degrees and this and that, and within 6 months become a PT. I've had to fuck it off because they've not got the people skills. So you spot on with know where you want to go before worrying too much or getting too bogged down by your pen and paper exams. Pen and paper exams are important, but if you know where you want to go post school, post college, then that's absolutely fine. Just be driven towards that.
No, definitely. Going on from that, then, just what subjects did Luke Walker like at school? Now, when I spoke to Danny about this, he said he was a massive historian. He loves watching all the kind of history channels and all the rest of it, World War II, etc. Are you like that, or is it something completely different?
No, I done RE. Now that wasn't because I'm particularly religious or anything like that. It was more. I went to college and done sociology as well. Again, because we love I love an argument. I love conflict. But not because I'm a narcissist. I go, no, my way's the right way, and you listen up. It's I like hearing different perspective on the same situation. So, and that's all RE was. That's all religion is. Everyone believes in the same thing.
Just different viewpoints.
But everyone's got a different way of getting there.
Yeah,
and sociology was the same. It was I only done 1 year at it. But then sociology was, right, here's the situation. What do these people think about that? What would these people think about that? What would these people think about that? And as long as you could argue the point from a feminist point of view or from this point, as long as you could argue the point with their facts.
Yes. Because
your facts might not necessarily be my facts. They're opinions, but as long as you've got enough data to back it up, then it's a fact. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why I quite like them. Obviously, PE and stuff like that. I ended up fucking English literature off because I got me C, and that's what I said to my mum. I said, "Well, I've got me C. English language, got me C. I'm not doing it." So I ended up doing more PE coursework. I stopped going to English and went to my form tutor, and concentrated more on that. So,
nice.
Yeah.
It is. Listen, it is what it is. Like, you've got it on the piece of paper. Why not concentrate on something you want to go into?
To get most jobs to say no, you need to see. Right. Well, what I wanted to do. I remember sitting with Miss Fell. Her name was. She was my form tutor. I said, "What do you want to do when you're older?" I said, "I want to own a gym." Right. Well, get your C's. And she literally said to me, she said, "Right, get your C's, and then come into my classroom on the classes you don't want to go to." So don't just walk out. And I'll liaise with the teachers. I'll make sure you're actually doing something. So I was like, right, sweet. So quite a lot of maths in year 11, quite a lot of English literature in year 11. After we watched Of Mice and Men, because I was quite enjoying it. So I watched Of Mice and Men, and when it comes to actually analysing Of Mice and Men, I just went back into form. So I just concentrated on the stuff that I wanted to do, because I knew what I would, like we were saying before, because I knew I always wanted to open a gym, and I genuinely said that when I was 16 to Miss Fell. And she's like, okay. She didn't really believe me, but I mean,
do you know what? That's fair enough, because that's the kind of drive that I've obviously, from knowing both of you, like the drive you both have to go and get your goals is exactly what you've shown. So at the end of the day, a 16-year-old Luke Walker is saying, "Yeah, I want to own a gym." Well, that drive, that determination, the kind of, this is what I want. And like we said earlier on, the hyper focus you've got to kind of do what you need to do to get that gym. So for me, like if you have built that rapport when you're in school, said, you know what, I've got my C's, I'm happy, then fair enough, because you know we're going to go on to it later on, but you know at a point where you've achieved your life goal of owning a gym. So
Yep.
me, like I can't, there's no kind of, and I'm talking from a teacher's perspective, like when I see a student that goes on and does what they want to do, then do you know what? Fair play to you. Like at the end of the day, you've done what you set out to do.
Yeah, I understand that it can't be a case of all kids, because otherwise you'll just get all kids turning around and going, no, I don't need maths for what I want to do, so I'm not going to go. So I understand that it can't always be like that.
No.
But when I have in between year 10 and 11, I had a supply teacher for the whole of the year in my GCSE PE. So all we done was box off the practical. So I was a full year behind on my theory. So that's why I think my form tutor was a little bit more lenient and going, okay, because they kind of understood that, right, maybe we have booked up a little bit.
Yeah.
My RE teacher was teaching me English. My RE teacher was teaching me PE, and I was like, but bear in mind, Beaumont at the time was a sports college.
Oh wow!
Clearly, I mean, so yeah, it worked for me. So.
Nice. No, love that. And you know what? Exactly like I said to you, it's fair enough. You've gone and done on what you've done, and kind of my next part into this podcast is how does the 16-year-old Luke Walker who's left Beaumont with the grades he needs, how's he kind of taken that journey to being the owner of your own gym? Like, because I know I've got students that want to own their own business, but it isn't just going to be like one linear line that's just going up like that and you hit your goal. Like, surely I know you'll have gone through kind of ups and downs and thinking, what's the point in this? Am I doing the right thing? And kind of,
I've never once questioned, am I doing the right thing? I've never once said, what's the point in this? I've not done that in the last 14 years, 15 years. You've got to be stubborn. I got it from my mum. Our work ethic has come from my mum. My dad worked hard, don't get me wrong. He worked away a lot and stuff like that. When my mum and dad separated, my mum was working 65 to 75 hours a week. I didn't realize there was that many hours in the fucking week. If I work 50 now, I'm knackered. She was doing 70 every single week, just so that the house could stay in her name.
Yes.
Because she couldn't think of anything worse than not being able to afford the house, then have to move out. We have to start a new life without our dad in the house, in a different house.
Yeah.
And you only really appreciate that now. You didn't really appreciate it at 16. But we'd walk to school, go to school. She'd actually pick us up from school, take us home, put us some tea on, and say, right, I'm going to go back out, and go back out. And she'd walk back through the door at 10 o'clock, and then we'd sprint upstairs and make sure we're in bed because you bollock us if we're still sat downstairs watching telly. But that was probably at least 4 or 5 days a week. So post college, I actually really struggled to get a job. My mum went to a boxing gym on Marshhouse Lane. John Murphy owned. Ended up asking him for a job because I'd done my level 2 in college. Got a job with him at Marshhouse Gym. Was there for about 6 months and they had to let me go. Couldn't afford me anymore. I've worked in warehouses. Whilst working in a warehouse for £2.73 an hour on an apprenticeship. How they can call it an apprenticeship, I don't fucking know, but whatever. £2.73 an hour. I'd work 40 hours, but then I'd work 16 hours in a gym as an apprentice. Myself, so I was doing 2 apprenticeships at the same time. Got my level 3. Dropped my hours then in the warehouse. Went and worked at Ford in the warehouse at Ford. I've done 24 hours a week, so I dropped from 40 to 24 hours a week. Done 24 hours a week in Ford, and then bumped my hours up in. So I was going to work at, I think it was 7 till 12, and then 4 till 8. So there were 13-hour days. Yeah, I got the gap in the middle, but that gap in the middle, I go home, eat, shower, go to the gym, shower again at the gym, and then go to work again. But I never once thought, what's the point? Because I've never seen. I've always treated it as a job, but I've never seen it as a job.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No, 100%.
They say if you love your job, you never work a day in your life. So those evenings that were going to work, yeah, I was tired, but it was a hobby. I was around good people, having a laugh. I still now I come to work, I have a laugh for 12 hours, and then go home. I walk around in my shorts and perhaps in my pajamas, in my comfies, and get to meet new people, chat to people, and go home.
I know, and it's nice. Obviously, when you were saying that you'd never obviously question it and that stubbornness, it's almost you've had your ups and your downs, but you've almost that stubbornness, that drive, that work ethic has got you to this point.
Yeah, I always say it is what it is. It is what it is. I mean, everything happens for a reason and stuff like that. Yeah, I get that, but it is what it is. Like if you get shit news, if fucking Bolton Council whack us up with a big bill, it is what it is. If it means we're close to our overdraft in the business, it is what it is. Just crack on. Like you can overanalyze a lot of things. Just crack on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
keep moving forward almost until someone stops you physically from moving forward. Someone has to stop you.
Just move. It's not even about moving forwards all the time, because that's unrealistic. Because that's that linear line.
Of course.
Just move. And as long as if you keep trying, something will come up. It might not be plan A, it might not be plan B, it might be fucking plan F, but something will work. Just do.
Keep moving.
Yeah.
Love that. Oh no, mate, that's quite inspirational, that actually. Very nice. Bring the tears to the eye. So how did it come about then? So you do all this job, you go from X to Y to Z. How do you end up in Bolton? How do you end up then forming what's now become the Colony? And then you then bring it to your hometown. Because I remember we discussed it just before you were moving to Warrington, like what you was going through. But like it's bonkers how you go and work, like you said, work to then owning your own gym and kind of succeeding in your life goal.
So Bolton was a mistake. It wasn't a mistake. It was just not what I wanted. So I applied for a company called Profit. Profit at the time were based in every single Total Fitness in the country. So you were self-employed,
okay,
but you were under the umbrella of Profit. They had their own education system. We paid Profit. Profit paid Total Fitness essentially for our rent. I done 3 interviews for a self-employed role. I had 3 interviews. I had a week's training course that I had to pass, and all 8 days was all in Wilmslow. And walking around, it's full of wags. It's with Robbie Savage and Andy Flintoff. I'll be sat in the cafe and like, fuck, quids in. I'm fucking buzzing here. And then on my last day of the course, I was like, look, mate, you've passed. We love you. We want to give you the job. You're going to be over in Bolton. So what? So is that a problem? I've never been to Bolton in my life. So I don't know where it is.
Oh wow!
But what they said was, with no spaces in Wilmslow, we and it's a shame because the Warrington gym was a mile away from my house at the time, but that shut down about 3 years earlier. So geographically they base you.
Right.
So I've got Wigan, Bolton, and Wilmslow, all around 20 to 25 miles away from where I lived.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, why Bolton though? I said, well, what we also do, because we had to do like a personality test as well. Personality-wise, basically, I just started laughing. I said, "What did Chav's not get let in Wilmslow? No." And they said, "No, it's not that. It's not that. There's not enough positions here." 6 weeks later, they took 2 people on at Wilmslow. I was like, "You cheeky bastards!" But you know what? Bolton's given me everything that I own now. Bolton's given me. So self-employed for, I think it was 4.5 years through the lockdowns as well. Kept my business alive, doing Zoom sessions throughout COVID. And then I had a mentor at the time. I just said, it's time. I'm going to open my own gym. And then he said, "Well, I'm keen to open one with you." And then that's how we got off the ground. And then we got one of the other lads to jump on board. So then 3 of us, we opened the Bolton gym. And then it's just gone from there. We have plans for 5 gyms in the next 5 years from now. But when we initially had the first conversation about expanding, I said Warrington.
100%.
I've travelled to Bolton every day, or 5 days a week minimum for the last 7 years. Bolton, great. Open one in Warrington. So I got my own way.
That stubbornness again's kicked in. But
it's that sociology. I love an argument.
I love an argument. But I just want to obviously say a caveat to that I'm right in saying you've no kind of business background in terms of leaving school or that, but you kind of, like you said, just kept moving, learning almost on the job, like in a way, an apprenticeship.
I think, what is the worst that can happen?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and to be honest, we took out personal loans, so we actually went to our clients for a lot of the money to open it. Put a little bit in myself, got a little bit from the government, and then the most of it come from clients. So the buy-in was there straight away.
Yes.
I think if people want to open gyms, don't always go to clients, because worst thing that can happen is you have to shut your gym, but then we still have to pay. We're in contracts. We have to pay our clients back. If you go and get a government loan, the worst that can happen is it doesn't work out, and you don't have to pay the government back. Like, what is the worst that can happen? What is the worst?
No.
It'll affect your credit score long term and stuff like that, but I mean, so we'll putting your whole life on Klarna, like most people do now.
Exactly.
And people won't hesitate about that. So, what is the worst that can happen? So when,
like I say, look at you now. Like there's no issues in terms of, like I say, you're worrying about that because of the buy-in and all the rest of it. And like you say, it's almost like we've said throughout the whole of this podcast. You just kept moving. There's no kind of what ifs.
Yeah.
What if this happens? What if this happens? What if I end up doing this?
It is what it is. If that happens, it is what it is. Crack on. So if it comes to a point here where we had to shut this, I'd be heartbroken, I'd be gutted, but it is what it is. I'd go to the David Lloyd up the road, go back to Total Fitness, go to another gym, and just train my clients there, and just keep paying my loans off.
Yes,
and then learn from it in the other gyms, and do you know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. Just we become so sheltered from our own anxieties that we don't live. We exist. A lot of people don't live. They just fucking exist. And I'll never ever be that person ever, because it bores me. It bores me to fucking death. I'd rather go at 50, but give it a good go at life, than go when I'm 95 and I've just cruised through life.
Yeah, not done anything. No, what a bit of inspiration that is. 50 and just give everything a go. Right then, a little bit of rugby, and I'm only going to touch on it a little bit because obviously, like I said to you at the start, you're probably, and you're arguably one of the best players I played with. So, how's rugby for you? Was it a goal, or was it a goal to try and obviously get to the big time, or was it just, you know what, I love it with my mates and love having a crack, and I'm happy as well.
Until it was my everything until I was about 22, 23. So when I were 15, going from say like 11 up to 16, I had so many people gaslighting me, and it fucking ruined me because they tell me how good I am. I've already made. They basically tell me I've already made it pro. You're going to be in Super League. You're going to be this. You're going to be that. And I didn't eat properly. I went to the gym, but I'd say I was going to the gym. I'd spend half an hour upstairs and go and play squash for an hour. Go and sneak in the hydro pool because I weren't yet 16 and you're not allowed in. Like it was that. And then I got dropped, and it was Workington at home. And I got dropped, and everyone was like looking at me like, "What the fuck?" And I was just like, "Okay, whatever." I didn't overthink it. I just thought it's Workington. We ended up beating them at 86-0. Like, I just thought, right, he's going to give another lad a crack. And then I was on the bench then against Wigan the week after, and I played about 15 minutes. That's it. I was like, what the fuck? And I just never got back in. No, listen, never got back in. And I spent too many years sulking. It was, to be fair, when I was 16, it was a tough time because that's when mum and dad split up. That's when my world ended because I was no longer on Warrington and they didn't offer me a scholarship, and I was like, what the fuck's going on? I spent too many years sulking. I went to the gym, actually started to look after myself in the gym. But rugby was just whatever, is what it is. I fucked about on the field, just thought it was Rangy Chase, Benji Marshall, just started just playing like a dickhead, not actually play. And then every time a scout would come along, I'd just freeze. I was crap. I was absolute crap. Every time a scout would come along. To the point where I started telling the coaches, stop telling me if people are coming to watch me. Because it was just crap. I just couldn't do it. And then it was probably that, just that schoolyard bullshit, just trying to enjoy rugby again.
Yeah.
Up until I was about 21, 22. No, up until 18, 19, and then I was like semi-pro clubs were sniffing around and like reserve clubs and stuff like that. And again, I went the opposite. I stopped playing that free, and I went too robotic. I was just trying to please other people. I was trying to play how I thought they wanted me to play.
Yeah.
Rather than playing. I just got so bogged down by it. And it probably worked until I joined Crossfields, to be honest. I think I was 23. I was just like, I'm just going to enjoy it. I'm just going to have a laugh with the lads. It is what it is. I had a couple of little breaks. I went on tour with England. Done my ACL in the first 11 minutes. England amateurs. Then I got Warrington started doing this community field. So then ended up playing for Warrington Reserves. The very next weekend, it was lockdown. So I was like, I cannot actually catch a fucking break here. Every time I get in some sort of spotlight, I get injured or it gets taken away from me anyway. So I just took the pressure away and was like, I'm just going to fucking enjoy playing again. And then I think I've played some of the best rugby I've ever played at CrossFit. So just by enjoying it and just playing with the lads rather than playing for myself.
No.
And just, yeah.
No, it's like I say, I remember I joined Crossfields 2020. I went watching yous against Clockface away, and it was a rubbish game next week after it was lockdown. So, and I always remember coming over and, like, say, like, you obviously as captain and whatnot helped me out massively because the lads had no idea who I was. They'd heard about me, and then, like, I always enjoyed playing in the back row when I knew you were my centre because I know for a fact that you would talk to me and you were stubborn and you'd say, right, you need to do this for me, you need this for me. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I'll listen. And I always think some of my best rugby probably post 2015 has probably been at Crossfields because of, like I said, almost like you said, just I enjoy being around the lads playing.
There's good camaraderie at Crossfields. There's always been People got the Crossfields click, but like I don't. And you from the outside, you're like, fucking, yeah, it can be quite clicky. Like when I went in there was no click. Everyone was the click. It was a 17-man click.
Yeah, it was.
And I think that's why, on paper, sometimes you look at the Crossfields team, you're like, but they'll never get. They'll always be the biggest. I'll fucking say it. They'll always be the biggest club in Warrington.
I'll second that
because of the camaraderie. Because of if someone's gonna get steamrolled, then someone will stand there next to him next time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it was always, and I think, especially when I've played there, it's always been like we spoke about for the whole podcast. Is everyone just kept moving, just keep moving. Just it is what it is. Like if we go to Egremont and get battered, it is what it is. Like you come back and enjoy yourself on the way home. Like, and that's that kind of, because I've obviously been in and around Warrington now for the past 10 years, and I didn't know the kind of what it was like at Crossfields, because obviously my brother-in-law and whatnot played alongside you, but being involved in it, like you said, there's no click. Everyone's for everyone. If you've got that Crossfields badge on you, you are a part of the family almost.
Yeah.
And what let's look at then, obviously back end of 2015, you said, do you know what, I'm done. I know we've obviously discussed it beforehand, but was it an easy decision? Was it one that you thought, do you know what, I'm doing it for myself? Is this something done for yourself, or just for, do you know what, it is what it is?
What's that?
Sorry, it's finishing end of last year.
Yeah, I was struggling. I was struggling mentally with all the injuries. I've never got injured up until I was about 28. When I was 22, from probably 18 up till 21, I played Saturday, Sunday, under 18s open age, and then from 20, 21, 20, I played that Winter League, then Summer League, Winter League, Summer League. It didn't stop. And then I started getting injuries. I'd done my knee. That was a lengthy one. I'd done my knee again, another lengthy one. And then last year was the first year I started to get muscular injuries rather than impact injuries. Impact injuries happen. It's rubber. It is. My calves were going every other week. I'd done my hamstring at Pats, and I was like, what? That weren't my normal.
No.
So you see people getting injured all the time. That weren't my normal. I keep myself so fit, so healthy, and it would get me down. I was trying to go to work. I was trying to give demonstrations, and I couldn't do certain exercises. And I was like,
no,
I can't do this. Rugby, unfortunately, doesn't pay my mortgage. Work does. And then obviously Sienna being born and stuff like that. I mean, I could play now because it's more regionalised, the league.
Yeah.
And I could be back home at a decent time, but I wasn't prepared to leave my house at 9 o'clock. I do it all week, Monday to Friday. I weren't prepared to do it then on a Saturday morning and not get home to 9 p.m. On a Saturday, because when will I actually see my daughter? So yeah, I might not. I might have retired forever. I might not. I don't know. And it is what it is for now, and we'll see where we're at in. I don't think I'll play this year, unless they're really desperate and they can't fill the 13. Then I'll go in and help them out. But I can't see me playing this year. But next year we reassess, and I might not. Who knows? See how much I miss it.
Yeah, exactly. And no, it's nice, obviously, because it's nice to hear as well that Crossfields has kind of changed your outlook on rugby and kind of playing not just for yourself but for the lads, and play, because like you say, I put it out there that, because I remember asking you during the week, like what would your top 13 be of players you played with? A lot of them have obviously come from Crossfields, and that shows that kind of love you have for the club, because although you were Rylands and whatnot, but the love for Crossfields, it shows.
Yeah, man.
Oh, love it. Right. And we're going to finish off with 10 quick fire questions. Now, These are one word-ish answers on the spot, and then we're done. And you can go and teach
Let's go.
people, do everything that you do. Right, number one, sweet or savoury.
Sweet.
What's your go-to?
Anything sweet. Anything chocolate.
Anything chocolate, like
Yeah.
it. Right, number two, best exercise in the gym.
Okay, now. As in for me or for you or
For you personally. One thing you love doing in a gym.
bench press because I'm fucking shit at it.
I love it. Go-to karaoke song number three.
Ooh. Tainted Love, Soft Cell. It's an easy one.
Ooh,
An easy one.
like it. Okay.
It's slow, and everyone knows it. They'll sing over the top of you if you're a bit fucked.
Get away with it. Love it. Number four, one meal for the rest of your life. You can't eat anything else, just one meal.
Chili con carne.
Ooh, nice. But loads of spice or
No.
loads
No.
of spice. Number five, I think I can get this already, but I'll ask you anyway. Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
100% all day. Anyone says cats? No. Number six, hero.
Rod Stanwyck.
Oh, wow. When he hears this, his head's just going to go, what?
Next, number 7.
7, best player you've played with?
Not necessarily for talent, but just for the size of his balls. Blower, Joe Clark.
Love it. What a player. Best player. So, best player you've played against, if you can think.
George Williams, hands down.
Really?
Fucking unreal.
Oh, wow. Number 9. Back in time or into the future?
Future. Back in time is what it is. I've said that 15 fucking times now. I can't change it. Is what it is. So
see what's in the future. Like it. Last one. One wish. What would it be?
One wish. Okay, now. My daughter to take over my gyms. How's that?
Oh,
But is that me? Is that me putting my expectations on her? She can do what she wants when she's older. I'm not bothered. But yeah, someone or something to take on my legacy.
oh, love that! I love that for an ending, mate. Luke Walker, it has been fantastic speaking to you, mate, and you know my thoughts about you and whatnot. But honestly, it's been lovely to hear kind of not just what I know about you, just a bit, but that backstory as well. So thank you for coming on the podcast.
All good, mate. Thank you very much.
And like I said, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Like, subscribe, share it, whatever you want to do. But thanks to everyone, and I shall see you all very, very soon. Thank you very much.
Fun?